Alright, what's good everyone? For today's video I actually wanted to take a look at Giovanna, and not to actually learn her just to play her or anything, but to actually fight against her. The reason I wanted to make this video is because I actually run into quite a bit of Giovannas, and I get it, she's new, her character design is very cool, this, that, the other, the whole nine. And I get that, but the thing that kind of put this over the edge for me and really made me want to take a look at this character is because actually one of my best friends, Vince, wants to play, if not main, this character. Now the thing with Vince is he will find something cheap and abusable and truly abuse it. Now that's kind of how it goes in fighting games. I absolutely respect the play. Typically in fighting games you're going to do whatever you want to do to win. That's just how it goes. This kind of doubles back to the whole Shiva Stomp incident, but I'm not even going to get into that. So just out of my experiences against this character, there are two main things that I actually want to take a look at, and that is first off the flip kick and the spiral arrow. I know it's called something else, but I think of Cammy spiral arrow, so that's what I'm going to call it. Okay, so as I said, one of the main things I wanted to take a look at was one, the spiral arrow, which is quarter circle forward kick, and the flip kick, which I believe is quarter circle forward back and slash. So naturally, I would start off by testing the frame data of these moves and kind of go from there, but Guilty Gear Strive actually doesn't have frame data in it. I'm hoping they'll add a patch where you can see the frame data. That'd be very convenient, a lot more convenient actually. It would help speed things up along dramatically, but there are ways where we can figure out some ideas of how plus or how minus things are. And that is obviously, of course, with the record function. So starting things off, I'm actually the most interested in taking a look at the flip kick. I assume this is actually plus. Most of the times I get counter hit for it, I believe. The ways you can actually check this is have a recording of Giovanna do a flip kick and then mashing probably one of her faster buttons, which is probably just 5P or 5K or something like that as a follow-up. And whoever gets first obviously is actually more plus in that situation. Okay, so we have the recording of Giovanna doing the flip kick. So now we're just going to play it back and block it and try to match P. Okay, we've compared notes, and turns out that Soul's 5P actually comes out sooner than Giovanna's. He kind of recovers first, so Soul is actually more plus in this situation. Now the next question was actually surrounding the spiral arrow, but doubling back before that, I want to see kind of what options I have around stuffing the actual flip kick itself. So let's talk about some anti-air options. Obviously we have the universal 6P, that's a great anti-air. They made a kind of patch to make all 6Ps universally anti-airs. So, which I mean is kind of standard for Guilty Gear anyways. So let's try to 6P. Okay, you can 6P. The question now is 5K. Soul has a couple of anti-air options, so he has 6P, has 5K. 2H is kind of one of them. We also have DP. So if you're really looking out for this, obviously you can anti-air with 6P. What kind of conversions you get after that, that's kind of up for debate and kind of will need some experimenting still. So let's check out 5K now. Ooh, hold on. Traded there. Okay, you can stuff it with 5K. So now you could probably stuff RC. Ooh, that one might need a bit more finesse. Okay, you can RC, get a follow-up. I'm not going to go too much into what kind of combos you can, but obviously you can stuff it. Let's see if we could stuff it with 2H. Ooh, 2H might be the... You're really going to have to preemptive 2H there. You're going to know it's coming. But definitely easy combos off that for sure. So let's try 2H. Yeah, this one's a bit tougher. This one is definitely the worst anti-air option that you actually have. Next up would be something like DP. So if you know it's coming... Ooh, I actually got counter hit there. DP is an option. Ooh, actually one more thing I wanted to test would be meeting this air to air. So you could do something like Soul's jumping D or jumping dust. Yeah, you can definitely air to air that if you kind of know it's coming. Maybe cancel into something, Roman cancel, I don't know. So now finally, as I said, moving on to Giovanna's spiral arrow. Alright, so let's record Giovanna doing the spiral arrow and then following up with 5P. And then mashing. Ooh. Giovanna is actually plus on spiral arrow on block. That's actually pretty crazy to me. Let's see mid-screen. Ooh, they traded there actually. Is it neutral on block maybe? Or is it spacing independent? Let's get up close and personal. Yeah, I think she's actually plus on that. That's interesting. Okay, so that is actually the opposite of what I thought it would be. I actually thought the flip kick would be plus and the spiral arrow would be very minus on block. It appears that is not the case. Giovanna actually having a very good and effective way to get in. Alright, moving on, now that we've kind of covered the moves that I wanted to go over, let's talk about forming a potential game plan against these two characters. Sol is actually my main character, if I didn't already say that, and he will be the character that I will be using most of the time against Giovanna. I'm actually working on learning Anji, but that's not very important right now. So as for forming a game plan, I would say most of Giovanna's kit makes it seem to me at least like she wants to go in. She wants to be in there. She doesn't really have any long range tools, so she might be very susceptible to getting zoned. Now, Sol is not a zoner, but he has some tools that are like decently ranged. Obviously, the staple one being Gunflame, of course. Travel across the screen, cover some distance. That is an option, but Sol has some other kind of mid-range or longer range options as well to potentially keep Giovanna out. So I would say 6S would be another fantastic button. It actually covers quite a bit of screen. Look at how far it actually hits. Covers about half screen distance. So quite good, quite an effective tool. Another more range-based tool is his 6 Heavy Slash. Now this I feel isn't as good as 6S, but it's a tool, right? Okay, as we've gone over, Sol's not exactly a zoner, but he has some okay mid-range tools. Obviously enough, Sol gets most of his damage from being up close and personal himself. Now, this is obviously in favor of Giovanna. She likes being up close as well. That's where she can kind of do her game plan. But some ideas to work around for Sol would be to use like a mid-range tool and then kind of Roman cancel to get in. So we could do something like, I don't know, Gunflame, RC, and then get in there. And then we've closed the distance. Another thing we can do is something like 6S, Gunflame, RC. We could also do something like 6S, Banner Revolver, and then walk up, apply pressure. 6H actually doesn't cancel into anything, so that won't be as an effective tool. It'll literally just be for kind of keeping the distance. But I would say definitely something to work around would be 6H, Banner Revolver, Roman cancel, do whatever you want to do. Wild throw maybe, I don't know. And then if you have any kind of setup, go from there. Kind of on the topic of Giovanna struggling against zoning, some characters that might be good against her would be something like Faust or Axel because they have good tools to keep her out. But also looking at the opposite side of the spectrum as well, characters that thrive more on being in than Giovanna would be something like Potemkin as well, so that might be a good matchup against her because Potemkin gets huge damage depending on being in, and the armor as well could go in Potemkin's favor. An important tool to know of Sol's, I believe, would be something like 6P. Obviously, this is a very good anti-air. It's every character's universal anti-air in this game, but I would say it's potentially useful for more than just anti-airing Giovanna. I would say it's actually good for potentially stuffing her spiral arrow, trying to get in, especially now that we found out that it might be plus on block, and that's pretty scary. So if you do something like preemptive or potentially reacting with 6P to stuff her spiral arrow, let's give it a try. Counter hit 6P. There might be some further punishes, but it is a way that we can stuff the Giovanna getting in. Let's see if there's any more. If we could do it a little bit later. It's actually hard to get hit by spiral arrows. 6P is actually a very good shield apparently for stuffing spiral arrows, so that's going to be something very important to note here. Oh, well, that's actually going to be about everything I have for you guys. I haven't thought too hard on this matchup. These were literally just ideas I had today that I wanted to test out for you guys and see how well they work. I hope you guys found this interesting and entertaining, and if you guys have anything important to note in the comments below, please let me know, because furthering this discussion is actually very, very important, and I'm super stoked on Guilty Gear Strive finally being out, and super stoked to see where the game goes. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you later. Peace.